countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation, hate speech, and cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots, and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions. Such an anomaly cannot continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity. Because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet. This way, citizens could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities would be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold them responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it.
Well, many have started paying for things with their phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand. So, the overseas company Walletmore is selling the microchip in parts of Europe. It's about the size of a grain of rice, goes under the skin, it's then activated using a digital wallet app. The chip is going for about $300, and the company says at least 200 people have gotten them implanted already. I would have many questions for a doctor about that.
Yeah, how very micro did it? It's pretty big. I mean, it's a pretty big chip. I mean, a paper cut hurts. You're gonna put a thing like that. What happens if you have to change banks? You gotta you gotta change it out. I don't know. I ain't interested in it. Keep it away from me.
I would just want to know how it affects your body.
Yeah, it can't be good. It can't be good to put some electronic device in your body and keep it there. Good luck with that.
Exactly 5 years ago, the Central Bank of Brazil, their equivalent of the Reserve Bank of Australia, introduced a new government-run payment system known as PIX. It's an app on people's phones, and the central bank forced all banks to accept it. Brazilians can use it to transfer money instantly from their bank account to anyone else's, a friend or a shop, either using their PIX alias or, in a shop, a QR code. And the best thing, well, it's free for people to use, and there's a single merchant fee of 0.22%. 93% of Brazilians now use PIX, and it's rapidly displacing cards. You know it's working because the US President Donald Trump is bitterly complaining about it, saying that those great American companies, Visa and MasterCard, are losing out. So he's whacking Brazil with a 50% tariff. So here's my question. How come the Reserve Bank of Australia doesn't do it? It's talking about cutting card payment costs by $1.2 billion, but actually $6.4 billion in fees are being hoovered up for not doing very much by Visa, MasterCard and the banks, as well as Apple and Google, since about half the transactions are now using cards on our phone wallets. And that's only going to increase because, as we know, cash is on the way out. What's more, the fees are hidden. We tap our card or phone without knowing about all the little added extras. So why don't we have PIX? Well, apparently it's because the payments infrastructure in Australia is entirely built around cards. And getting everyone to switch to an app where you have to scan a QR code or know the other person's alias would be hard. Also, the system is owned by the banks and Visa and MasterCard, so the government would have to effectively nationalise it, which was fine for Brazil, but in Australia we privatise businesses, not the other way around.
ATMs and bank branches close and Australians increasingly rely on digital payments. One economist predicts the country will be cashless in the next few years, but there are fears a world without banknotes will leave people unable to pay for essential goods and become easy targets for cyber criminals.
No time for delay on the lunch rush.
Tap away when you're ready. Tap away when you're ready. Tap
first businesses to axe cash. Now heavy hitters are on board, including KFC, Krispy Kreme and Nando's. Even Macquarie Bank is phasing out cash deposits and withdrawals.
We're definitely going to become a cashless society. It's better for consumers and it's better for businesses.
UNSW Professor of Economics Richard Holden says in 5 years we'll be functionally cashless unless the Reserve Bank acts even sooner.
We could say year one we'll get rid of the $50 bill, year two we'll get rid of the 20 and the 10, and year three we'll kind of mop up the small change, and that will give people time to adjust. For older Australians, it's going to be more challenging.
No, not cashless. Definitely not.
I don't even have a wallet anymore. Just use the phone, it's great.
We want to be able to do what we want with our money. Sweden, the first nation to introduce banknotes back in the 1600s, was shaping up to be the first to get rid of them.
The demand from merchants and consumers that really decided the speed of this process.
But there was community backlash when people struggled to pay for essential goods, including the elderly and people living in areas with low internet.
We didn't see the problems in time.
Now trying to strike a balance.
New laws have come into operation, been forcing banks to have ATMs all over Sweden.
Lobby group Cash Welcome says it should serve as a cautionary tale for Australia.
Millions of Australians trust and rely on cash every day.
And it comes without the data breaches, scams and tech failures of digital payments.
Because it's not reliable. As soon as there's a flood, as soon as there's a fire, as soon as there's an internet outage, nobody can spend.
Whether you use cash or not, there's no question it's getting harder to access. In the past financial year, 11% of the nation's ATMs closed. Despite this, Aussies still withdraw $8 billion in cash every single month.
No doubt some will need convincing.
I guess the tooth fairy is going to go digital.
When Elias Brodberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface in his hand.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all on SHAM, so I use it like to get around the building.
Let's buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to transmit my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future. Install in-grain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go. In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards.
Which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden. No cash. At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
but even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot. I think, so much more data can go into this, when it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannah Swellblood estimates between 5 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it will be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but Sweden is already reality.
So what I want to do is face this east. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, double honors to the elder apostle GMS who ruled well. Salute you brothers for pushing this word, and truth and sincerity strength by YAHAWASHI. And shalom to you brothers and sisters born to trust the spirit by YAHAWASHI. Shalom to you too, right? I'm out here to let me fix this camera. I'm out here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked, destructive kingdom known as Babylon the Great, Sodom and Gomorrah, Egypt, Rome, all those ancient empires balled up into one, controlled by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? And you've seen, and I'm out here to gather the elect of the nation of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, consist of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Those are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the King James Bible, right? And only the elect of the nation of Israel is going to come back and serve YAHAWASHI and truth and sincerity. Now, you seen the clip. Now, matter of fact, let me show y'all what it said. I forgot to do that. If y'all want to go over there and look at it, you know, without me showing it to you. Let me see. That's where it's at. It's on Jason's page. That's where it's at in this video. That's the title of the video right there. Right? So if y'all want to go over there and look at it, be my guest. But like I was saying, you see what's going on concerning prophecy, right? And that's the focus. That's the focus, prophecy. And I'm gonna start off in and like we always do, according to how we was taught. We always give you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans a visual. You know what I'm saying, concerning the scriptures. You know, for the most part. And that's the mark of the beast, that RFID microchip. And then it tells you in Revelations, you know, 13, you know, in 14 on down, it tells you concerning the mark of the beast, right? Which is the microchip. And then it tells you in Revelation 14 and 9 on down, if you take that microchip, you're going to get destroyed. And then it tells you in 2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, that we're not ignorant, you know, of Satan's devices, you know, roughly paraphrasing. It tells you that. So, you Negro, Latinos, and Native American Israelites, you need to zoom in and focus on the particular scripture, right? Because it's prophecy, you know? It's prophecy. Now I'm gonna start off and let's see what I got. See what we can start off in, right? See what I got here. We're gonna go to John the 13th chapter. See what we can get out of John, right? And I'm reading this, right? John the 13th chapter in the now I'm reading this that you may believe and trust in the words of YAHAWASHI. So here we go. This is John chapter 13, verse 19. Now I tell you before it comes, that when it is come to pass, ye may believe that I am he. So when you read this, he was letting Jacob, Israel, okay, know that Judas was going to betray him. That it was going to come to pass that Judas was going to betray him. Now, I'm going to read this again. This is John 13 and 19. Now, I tell you before it comes, that when it comes to pass, ye may believe that I am he. So, what it is, like I was saying, he was letting you know that Judas was going to betray him, and it happened. So I'm saying that to say this. According to prophecy, Revelation 13, right, and 14 on down, it tells you that the mark of the beast, which is a microchip, is going to be implemented on the earth. Now, I showed you a video of it, right, coming, and eventually it's going to be on a mass scale, but it's here and it's coming, and eventually it's going to be on a mass scale, right, to where people are going to be taking that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, right? So I said that, you know, and I'm reading this to let you know that you should believe and trust in YAHAWASHI, okay? Now, I'm reading this again. This is John chapter 13, verse 19. Now, when I tell you before it comes, that when it comes to pass, ye may believe that I am he. So, YAHAWASHI spoke of the future, and we are set up through the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI, to tell you what's to come to pass, that you may believe and increase in faith. So, he said that about Judas was going to betray him. We telling you through the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI, that that RFID microchip is going to be pushed on the earth in a mass scale. And if you take that RFID microchip, Revelations 14, right? The Heavenly Father is going to destroy you. But we're telling you that it's going to come to pass. That's the hour of temptation. Now, if you don't believe in the Heavenly Father and Son, right, and you don't have sincere faith, you will take that chip. Okay? That's going to be your destiny. A lot of you people destiny. That's going to be a lot of you people destiny to take that chip, because you're not going to have any help to resist it. Okay? So I read this again, and I'm going to jump. This is John chapter 13, verse 19. And now I tell you before it comes, that when it comes to pass, that ye may believe that I am he, that ye may have faith and trust in YAHAWASHI. We told you about Judas, we're telling you about the chip. Okay? Through the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI. So we jumping. Let's go to Isaiah, see what we get out of this. Right? Isaiah chapter 46. This is Isaiah chapter 46, verse 9. Isaiah 46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, that I am the power. For I am power, and there is none else. I am power, and there is none like me. So the Heavenly Father, you know, and now we talk about his son, YAHAWASHI, they tell you the future, and they told you the past. They the ones control the history, and they the ones control the future. So remember that. They control the past, and they control the future. Right? This is Isaiah 46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am power, and there is none else. For I am power, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So the Heavenly Father and his Son, right, control the past, the history, and they control the future. And the Heavenly Father is going to do what he want to do. It's out of man's hand. And he controlled everybody on this earth. And he like the ultimate puppet master, right? So he pushing Esau Edom on the left-hand side to bring forth his RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. What I mean by his, the Most High microchip on the left-hand side, to see if you nigger Latinos and Native Americans gonna submit to Satan, okay? Submit to Esau Edom. So he gonna test you if you gonna pay homage to Satan and the devil, which is Esau Edom, okay? So he gonna put a test upon you. This gonna be a major test, because this right here test is going to determine whether you live or die, okay? So I'll read this again. This is Isaiah chapter 46, verse 9. Remember the former things of old, that I am power, and there is none else. I am power, and there is none like me. Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times the things that were not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So the Heavenly Father's and His Son pleasure is to bring forth this chip and to test mainly you nigger Latinos and Native Americans on the earth, okay? That's what it is. That's His plan, and that's what's gonna stand, and it's His will, okay? Nobody else will. It's out of man's hands. He controls the history, and He controls the future, okay? The Heavenly Father and His Son are the ultimate puppet masters, right? So we jumping.